You are about to enter the court of Judge. People are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is Judge.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Judge season. Where's that coming from? Where's that? Why is there a rock band in my courtroom? Why the fuck is there a rock band? Get these jerks out of here. Excuse me, this is a courtroom. This isn't a fucking rock show. Get out! Get out! This is a courtroom. This is not a rock show. Who let these assholes in here? Who let these... Go to Grandma's garage. This is a courtroom. We got a very serious debate here going on right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a very serious debate here. We have season 2.5 special impromptu episode of Judge featuring Wise Wizard versus Stonefree. AI! It's the AI round. It's the AI episode. AI is good versus AI is bad. We have Wise Wizard here on the left. Let's bring him in. We got Wise Wizard on the left, and we have Stonefree on the right. Each of these lovely individuals are going to argue to the death to find out who is the better arguer. We have Wise Wizard on the left versus Stonefree on the right. How this is going to work, ladies and gentlemen, is very simple. We are going to give the floor to Stonefree. No, sorry. It's been a while since we've done this. Since we filmed in front of a studio audience here, so my hands are not working properly here. We're gonna let this guy over here with a beard go first, and he's going to give a little bit of an opening statement, and then we're going to let this young child over here with long hair give their... This is so scuffed. Pull the plug! We're going to let Stonefree go next, and then they're going to give an opening statement on why they think AI is bad. We're going to allow each of them... We're going to give each of them the floor to argue for 5 to 10 minutes about their points. We will then go back to the opposite person and say, would you like to counter any of those points? Last but not least, we will open it up for questions to the audience, also known as the jury, also known as Twitch chat. And then they'll give their closing statements and recap. And then we'll put a poll up on the Twitch chat on who you guys think argued better and who you think should win. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Mr. Wise Wizard, tell us why you're here and what you hope to accomplish.
All right, well, thank you, MB. Again, we are here to debate this. Again, I don't think the purpose of debates is necessarily to, like, quote-unquote, win the debate. I'm here to try and hopefully make some people think about a different perspective today. And, yeah, I'm going to talk about why I think AI is a force for good in the world. This was actually me and Stone agreed was the topic of the debate, even though MB has obviously shortened it. I think AI is a force for good, overall. Now, I'm not here to argue that AI is absolutely perfect, it's got nothing wrong with it, it's going to, bring humanity to the precipice of everything great. I understand that AI isn't perfect, it has flaws. But just like any other tool, any other invention of the humankind in the last, however many hundreds of years that that humans been inventing crazy things, it is a great tool, and it is a tool that is going to, in my opinion, it's going to be the biggest revolution since the internet. Just like the internet, and just like many other things in our lifetime, right? When people first invented cars, when people first invented planes, if you go way back to the industrial ages, when people just first started, making factories and, these first bits of technology, these are all tools. And everyone at the time was like, they're bad because they're going to change the way we live. these obviously downsides to a lot of technology. Like internet is probably the classic example. For example, no one is arguing that the internet does not have downsides. Like the internet obviously has downsides. Even to this day, people are trying to cope with those downsides of the internet. For example, like, you know, people not being social, going outside and stuff. But let's face it, Stone on her stream last night said, like, they don't like going out and meeting people in real life. All Stone, I hate to tell you this, but if it wasn't for the internet, that's what you'd have to be doing. And AI is no different, right? It is not a perfect tool, but it is nevertheless a tool. It can be used for good, it can be used for bad, but I think overall, it's going to be used in a really positive way. Now, there are obviously risks, like AI could go crazy and rogue and kill everyone, blah, 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 blah. But these are the extreme examples. These are not really, you know, they're not on the table right now. Right now, in the real world, people are using them for real world benefits. So I work in an office, I work in HR, and everyone, I tell you right now, no one at my work is anti-AI. Everyone loves AI because we're using it for real practical reasons in the real world to, you know, not replace people, but to actually enhance our work, to make people more efficient. All it does is allow us, the people working at the jobs and in the office, to get more done in our time. In fact, it gives us more time to improve things, to make things even better than they were already. Like, we don't have to do like so much data entry anymore. We don't have to like spend ages like typing like individual things in. We can actually like get the AI to do some of that for us, and then we can actually use our human intuition to work on better stuff, right? We understand the limitations of AI. We would never get AI to replace things which clearly humans are better at doing. This is the thing, and I feel like a lot of the people that are anti-AI on the internet probably have not like been in a very professional office setting for a long period of their life. So they probably don't understand this. They probably don't understand that, like, when it comes to this professional setting, people aren't like crazy, just like, oh yeah, let AI replace everything. Oh yeah. We're not like that. We're obviously everyone. Funny enough, to get hired to work for a big organization, especially in like the higher positions, you actually have to be quite smart and intuitive, and you know, a cut above the rest, let's say. So the people that we're talking about and dealing with here aren't stupid people. We understand limitations, and we're not going to like let the AI replace like things that are clearly like better for humans to do, right? So yeah, I think in that sense, AI is just a positive force. It is like a tool. I think a really good example, another example that I think might appeal to some people out there, although I don't necessarily share this exact opinion with all of them. I feel like there's got to be at least a few Americans out there that are like a fan of the Second Amendment. They're a fan of owning guns. Now, I do think guns should be legislated, like they are in New Zealand, for example. But I do think people should be, you know, have the ability and freedom to own weapons. And AI is no different. It is something like I think the people that are arguing that AI is like scary and it's damaging and it's going to do all the harm. They're saying like, it's like saying, oh, guns, we should ban all guns. We should not be allowed any guns ever because they're scary and you can use guns for bad. I mean, you can say that about anything, right? You can say that about knives. You can say that about like so many household appliances. Like I said it myself the other day. Anyone at any point, realistically, if they go crazy, they will find and want to kill you. They'll find a way to kill you. But it's like we can't go through life thinking that way. We have to actually use the tools at our disposal in a responsible way, and most of society does. AI is no different. It's just the newest tool that people are labeling as scary, but it's not really that scary. Not when you actually learn the facts about it. Now, I guess one final point I would like to address, since we were talking about Suno before this, I think one thing that might come up is, okay, well, even if you're, you know, AI, even if you're not going to the extreme saying AI is like really scary and bad, it's going to kill everyone, it's still a waste. It's a waste of resources. But like, how do you define waste? Like, for example, Stone was like, oh, well, you know, what's Suno achieving, you know? You guys, sure, you're not doing copyright, blah, 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 you're not stealing music, but you're wasting resources making these songs. It's not benefiting anyone. Complete bullshit, man. same as most entertainment in the world, there is a value to entertainment and to, you know what I mean? Like, you can say the same thing about TV. You can say the same thing about all of us sitting here watching Man Burning today. Like, you know, we could probably be doing more productive things with our time. Let's face it, like, you know, on a physical level, like, I could be making something with my hands, I could be going doing something, but, like, there is a huge value to the emotional feelings, entertainment, social value, all these things that we gain from using AI in this way, right? Me, Muppet, Man Burning, all the other people that have done the sooner rounds for us, we get great entertainment value and just a positive thing from that. It's how can you really put a, you know, like a value on that? I personally think that's a great value. I've had so many good times hanging out with my friends, and it's really cheered me up as a person and helped my mental health. How, and I feel like it's insulting to say that I shouldn't be allowed to do that when it's not harming anyone. It's not, you know, I guess technically you could say, oh, it's wasting resources, but like pretty much everything we does waste resources. Like, I could give you 1,000 examples of things, you know, Stone or Ali or any of these other anti-AI people do on a daily basis that waste resources. That, you know, they do purely for their entertainment, right? AI is no different. It's just the newest thing. It's been labeled as scary, but it's just the newest tool, man. And I think if you're a fan of freedom, if you're a fan of our rights, and you're a fan of like pushing forward the human species through technological advancement, you should be in favor of AI. I don't think there's really two ways about it. And I think that a lot of the anti-AI, it has come from like this internet culture where it's just like trendy to be anti-AI. I don't think it, you know, I think these people, they have these few talking points that they recycle, but they don't really hold much weight. And I think when you actually break it down and you actually live in the real world and you have a real job in a professional setting, it becomes quite obvious that AI is the next bet, is like the new futuristic thing. And people, whether you like it or not, it's here. You need to learn to use it. It's probably gonna, you know, it's gonna really change our world within the next 5 years.
All right,
So
I'm gonna cut
to
you off there. I thought we were just gonna give a little bit of a quick like statement about what we
That
were
was
hoping
not
to
quick
accomplish
at all.
here.
No, this is a full opening thing.
I'm just sitting
That's
here.
your full
twiddling my
opening.
thumbs,
Andy,
like,
we already
Wow.
discussed this.
Wow.
what an
Okay.
intro.
That was what an intro. Okay. Stone, would you like to give an intro on what you're hoping
This is
to
our full
accomplish
opening,
today?
so, yeah.
So what I'm here to do and hoping to accomplish is to let everyone know why I keep saying that I just do not like AI and how much it harm in the sense, not in the sense of apocalyptical, like AI taking over. That will never happen. I doubt that could ever happen. I'm talking about why it's bad for people, not just in the not long term, but not like futuristic. Just the fact that it might just dumb things down. But like I liked what Wizard pointed out. I didn't really think about this in the working world. Yes, for sure, I would agree that AI is good for that. That's one of the things that I think it's pretty good about it. But other than that, uh, everything else is bad, and I'm gonna hope that I can let everybody know how bad it actually is.
Okay, fair enough. Well, since Wizard had more speaking time, if you want to kick things off and maybe tell us why you think AI is so bad, give us a few
Okay,
pointers on
so
why.
my first point that is 100% factual. You literally cannot say this isn't true because this is how AI exists in the first place. It takes it takes information from other sources. If you post literally anything online, that is being used to train AI. So anything popular at the moment, that's probably going to be used to be generated as AI. And what that means, if you follow any sort of, I'm mainly talking about bad in the entertainment department, because basically AI is taking these for its training, or in other words, taking art or music or any sort of art form from these online spaces and posts, mainly social media. It's taking it from that, putting it in its algorithm and recycling it and making something else. And with that being said, it's not inherently original at all when it comes to that, because you are literally taking something and recycling and just like giving it a new coat of paint. That does not make anything original. It would not exist if that other artist existed. And I could see someone saying the argument, well, this band wouldn't exist without this band, like, or this artist wouldn't exist or this artist, or like this wouldn't exist without that. That isn't inherently true, because we are not controlled by systems. We are controlled by our brain. We don't have to be trained to know what we can do or what we're able to accomplish. We can literally be the next big thing. But AI can't exist without something to prompt it. So I also be very blunt here, and I'm not trying to come off as rude, but anyone who use anything to generate AI, they are not artists. They are instructors. They instruct the AI to do something, and then they spew out whatever they find in the algorithm. So if you want to make a pop song, it's probably going to sound like something you probably heard on the radio. And why Suno, or not any Suno at all, just literally anything music related, sounds kind of similar. You can't really recognize it from other music. Is that because other popular music sounds like that? It's taking it from that. And what all this means is basically the loss of creativity, the loss of independent artists, because it can be basically replaced if as long as the content of whatever creator has posted on there, the AI can take that and use it for its own thing. So it's just really sad to see, because creators work so hard on their craft and what they do, and then someone can just type in a prompt and the AI will take whatever it needs and spews it back out, making it a little different. So it just turns into just this recycled mumbo jumbo. And that's why I do not want, this is more of a personal thing. I'd rather not listen to AI music, because I do not want to be inspired by recycled slop, because it's literally me stealing from someone else. I'd rather be inspired by the actual creator than something that's been rewashed and redone. So that's another point. And my other point on why it's also bad that this is happening is that if everyone starts just generating things, no one's gonna try to be creative on how to make songs. I know people don't have time to make art or songs or any of these things. I understand that. That's one thing I can get behind. But for the people who have a decent amount of time to make things, they should be more creative. As a rising musician, I'm not really that like big at all, but I could easily just have AI make me a music video. But I've been looking around my entire room, giving inspiration on what I can use to make art with. And that's what I do. I don't resort to AI because it gets rid of creativity. You don't, the only thing you need to think about is just something in your head, and then AI can do it for you. There is no human essence at all when it comes to generating anything. And that's another big thing too. The human essence and soul is stripped as soon as you generate anything, because you have not made something, you have just instructed something. And that is the biggest point of all. If it's not human, it feels soulless, and I'd rather not listen to it unless it's made by my own kind.
All right, Wizard, would you like to counter these points here?
Yeah, I've got some responses here. So, okay, I would like to start with the instructor versus artist thing you made, and I actually completely agree with you. I just don't think that, like, you are really arguing against the point, though, because I completely agree. I would agree that, for example, when I make a Suno song, I am an instructor. I'm not an artist. I'm not claiming to be an artist. I disagree with the people that do claim to be artists. I think that's just dumb. And I think those people are those are the people that are misusing AI, right? Again, AI is a tool. You can use it in good ways, you can use it in bad ways. We don't stand those people. When we're making Suno songs, we're not claiming to be fucking artists, man. We're giving it instructions. We're making funny songs to have some entertainment with each other. You know. Now we're not going out, as MB says. We're not going out. We're not trying to fucking publish a record. I don't agree with the people that try and do that. Yeah. Now, you also said when it comes to AI music that you don't want to take inspiration from the AI music because you don't want to use some copy. You don't want to do something that's stolen, but it doesn't really make sense because the very first thing you said was that the AI is basing what it's doing off original artists. So if you follow that logical path, if you do listen to AI music and get inspired by it, you're actually just getting inspired by the original artists because the AI is just copying them, right? So you're actually not really, by not listening to AI music, you're not really changing anything. You're still getting inspired by the original artists. It's the AI is literally, as you've pointed out yourself, is literally just taking inspiration from the original artists. They sound like the original artists. So you're certainly not stealing from anyone. You're just getting inspired by the original artist through like a third party thing. It's not really a big deal. Like you're still inherently, again, it sounds similar because it is, right? Yeah, I mean, like, I agree with these points. I just don't think they're anti-AI at all. In fact, I actually think that point is pro-AI. It actually probably allows more original artists to get out there and have their sound shared. Like the thing that is one of the big benefits of AI probably is that actually it can pick up a lot of probably less known artists and boost them out there. And you might hear an AI song and you think, whoa, what artist inspired this? And you might go and look up the original artist. You'd never have freaking heard of them if it wasn't for the AI music. So, yeah. I actually think I agree with your points, but I don't think they're anti-AI. Yeah, I mean, like, I actually don't think you've made many points here in favor of being anti-AI. I think mostly all of your points have agreed with AI. So I think pretty much your only anti-AI sentiment just comes from like a personal feeling of like, oh, I don't like it. It's icky.
Stonefree, what do you have to say about that? Do you feel that
interrupt me.
well, I mean, judges are allowed to interrupt, right? That's the whole point of the show. I don't know if you've ever watched the Judge Show before, but I would like Stone to respond to that while it's still on my mind.
Yeah, so with that, the thing with that, what you said about it, like it's basically the same artist because it took from that. It's not, because it's like recycled, and I don't think anyone can actually find the same artist that it was based on at all, because it takes part of many. It's not just one. It comes from many different like sources, and it just combines it. And the fact that it does that, it can't really you can't really know who did what, right? But it's also not giving props to the actual artist making that music. You have to have this AI take it for it to make this song, and then this AI did this, and I have to go look for that. And I don't think that would be very good, because it's basically just you like making it's basically just taking from it. It's a whole thing that takes, despite the fact that even though it's complimenting that artist or whoever and putting into that, it's just taking away. It's not being original. That's the whole point of all of this. Nothing is ever original when it comes to AI, and it just doesn't feel real. Sure, it can sound good, it can sound similar, but that doesn't make it good. It's like inspiration and taking are two different things, because there's a lot of artists that inspire off each other. That's another thing that someone might say, like, if AI can take inspiration, why can't I?
Stone, I want you to touch base on what Wizard said, where he thinks your arguments have been pro AI, but he thinks it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. Like
it's not a feeling. This is literally a concern for many people, because especially in AI art, it's people are non-consensually having their art be used by AI. That's another point I forgot to make. People just post their stuff online for people to see, and then these companies decide, hey, we're just going to use this now. We don't care what you think of small income artists. We are taking your stuff to train our AI. So in a sense, it's copyright without it like being like official because they can't really speak out that well because they're small artists or big artists too. They have also complained about AI using their art without their consent. That's another thing too. These artists putting these things out there, they never asked, they never wanted this. They never wanted
Can I chip in a second?
this system.
Yeah, go ahead.
Huh?
Wizard
Yeah,
wants to
so
say
I just
something.
want to cut in here just because while we're on this topic. So I want to ask you a question. Do you think that AI art is relatively easily distinguishable from human art?
Yes.
Exactly. So I actually think you're doing a discredit to the artist by saying, "Oh, because of art's existence, these artists are going to go out of
Just
fashion."
because
And
you can
that's
differentiate it,
nonsense, man.
that doesn't mean it won't be consumed. There is a market for AI, and it's complete slop. It does not look as good as regular art for
Mm,
someone who's actually made it. People are using
I
AI
agree.
for monetary gain. This is the big point here. They are using it. They're not even crediting anything they use, or there's no artists here in this. It's just something that's just spewing out these generated things and just putting it online and getting millions of views. Well, the artists that have been taken advantage of by the AI by taking the content that they create, they're not getting credit, and it's impossible to give credit because it's hard to even know what sort of artist, unless it's obvious, unless you say make a style in Studio Ghibli or something, right? Like that's the only way you will ever know if it's like a very popular artist or art style. It's being used all across the globe for just monetary gain, and that's really sad because the original artist can't be complimented. It's just people just looking at it say, "Ha ha, funny little image here," and it's complete slop too, and it doesn't really have really good like like it doesn't have a soul. It's just there to just get engagement.
Mm,
And if I'd rather have a human be silly and do stupid shit to get engagement than a system that has no human soul, because
right.
at least the person who's actually making these videos of themselves doing stupid shit it's themselves. AI
Okay.
has no identity.
Sorry, can I chip in here? Okay. Listen, I think the fact of using all these emotional words like soul, like almost spiritual words, rather than like facts and like factual stuff. I think this is just demonstrating how a lot of this does come just from your feelings.
It's a figure of
Hang on,
speech,
hang on, hang
not.
on. Let me finish. Let me finish because I didn't interrupt you. Um, until you've been talking for long. I want a chance to make my counterpoint. So, um, you were talking about AI art, and I personally think, well, again, I'll give the exact example that I used earlier of my workplace. Right? We could make AI art for my workplace. We don't make AI art because people would obviously be able to see it's fucking AI art, and I think yes, you have some like examples online, and again, I think a lot of this does come down to online versus real world. I hate to say this, but it's true. Um, like for example, like online, I think people can get away with doing shifty, shady stuff. I don't agree with the people that like steal people's, do like, oh, make an AI art copy of this person's fucking artwork and put it on X or whatever. I'm not a part of X because I'm not really on any social media, and also fuck Elon Musk and his platform. But yeah, I don't agree with those people personally. But that's not really, it's kind of besides the point. I think that in the real world, people can, as you say, I actually do think there is like a general tendency to dislike AI art because of the feelings that people have around it, right? Because of the feelings. When I see a bit of AI art, I'm not going to choose that over like a piece of real art, right? Even I have those same feelings. So it's like in the real world, for example, our company would never use an AI art fucking advertisement or something. We use real people, right? We do real people, real commercials, because fuck the AI. If we did an AI, we know that we get negative press for that. The people that use this are using it online in a niche space probably only for a limited amount of time. AI is still pretty fresh, and already people are getting sick of it. I think that all these examples that you're giving and that anti-AI people are giving, they're specific examples, and I just don't think it's going to hold in the real world in the long run. I think it's pretty obvious when something's AI art, people don't like it. I think at the end of the day, the real artists are going to come through, and yes, they might be going through a little bit of a down period right now where AI is kind of overwhelming them. I actually, I understand that, and I don't disagree, and I think that's unfortunate. But again, AI is a tool. There's going to be people who use it for good. There's going to be people who use it for bad. That's just one of the bad reasons. But on the whole, it is good.
Stone for each. You have anything
Well,
to say to that?
um, I kind of agree with that in a sense. As long as but people will use it for bad and good. But it's I think it's mainly that the badder parts are shown. I don't think the parts you're talking about, like the parts that you use at your job and all that, they have not been very well like shown. It's been more like the buzz feed of everything. It's just art and all this crap. It's not like the actual useful stuff, right? It's just all
Internet,
the slop and the crap.
not
I
real
have
world.
not really seen much because I didn't know that you use like AI at work. I know Grammarly and all these like little like softwares that help you like make things like easier. Like those I those are good. I'll say that those are good. Though that's a good example of AI. A bad example of AI is just regurgitating things. That what you use is not regurgitating. I'm talking about the stuff, all the bad parts, all of that, and I think all of that should just be gone away. If all that just goes away, and what stands is just the good parts that you're talking about, I feel like AI could be good, but it's been too tainted by all of these all this slop, and there's been a lot of just people just defending it too, and just calling it it's art, it's real. It's not at
I'm not
all.
here to take
But
sides, but it sounds like, honestly, that you're not really that anti-AI, Stone. Like, you're agreeing a lot with what Wizard's saying.
I
Yeah, like
am.
so would you
It's
agree
just
that you spend a lot of time on the internet?
I yes, I have, and I have seen a
And so
lot.
you probably agree that you have a biased perspective from the amount of time you spend on the internet versus like out in the real world, like in real companies and jobs and
What
stuff,
would
yeah?
AI have to do with the real world other than your job?
Well, you literally just said like I've given you multiple examples and you agreed with them.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, it's just been tainted. I would love for AI to actually thrive in a space where no one is getting hurt.
I mean,
Like that
Stone,
would be perfect.
if you want to call anyone
Stone, it
to,
literally is already.
if you want to call
That
anyone up
that was my point.
to
I
help
don't
at
have
any
anybody,
point,
MB.
you're more than welcome to do so.
It's making. I know I'm sounding pro AI here, but it's more of just it's just a disappointment. If anything, I'm not mad. I don't. It's not like a hatred. It's more of me being disappointed because how can people be using this wonderful tool that's basically the closest thing to an artificial brain for slop, and that's all I see
I
everywhere.
agree.
Everyone's
I
talking
agree.
about it. We need more like representation of actual usage, and we have
So,
not gotten that,
Stone,
and that's why I think AI is bad. It's not being used right.
what do you think is a good use of AI then? Would you maybe give us an
Like
explanation on what would be considered a good use of AI?
like like AI assistants, right? Like that can help you answer questions, help you make ideas, not like completely do your homework, but like things that can help you like brainstorm a little bit, or just like stuff that can like help you like correct things or just give suggestions, like things that can like push you, not things that can fully like replace and make these grandiose things, right? Just things that can just give you a push. We need AI more like that and not stuff that people just can point and look, hey, that's not real. That's not real. We don't want that. We want AI to help. We don't want AI to just be a thing. We want it to be to assist us.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's more relevant that there's a lot of just slop around AI. Like I know that it might not be a reason to hate it when there's all these good things about AI,
There,
but the fact that it's this overblown and popular,
there is a lot
it
of
it
slop.
makes it bad.
It's oversaturated, but
Yeah,
you can
there
say
is a
that you can
lot.
say that with everything because you give a child a crayon and now everyone's an artist, right? And but that doesn't mean they're a
Yeah,
good
like
artist. That means that
can
we
I
got a
step
lot of
in here?
slop
Exactly.
So
now, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Just because we have good parts of AI, it doesn't mean all of it's good, right?
yeah,
And
no,
vice
but that's
versa.
not the argument, Stone. The argument is AI a force for good? This is the argument that you agreed on,
It's
and
not a
I'm
force
not
of good.
arguing that it's perfect. We all agree that it's got many downsides, and a lot of bad people are using it for bad things. That does not mean that it is inherently a bad thing.
I know.
Like the
Exactly.
internet, for example, is probably again the closest example that we have. Internet, not perfect. It has a lot of downsides, a lot of negative connotations, but it's not a bad thing overall. It's enhanced our lives. None of us would want to live here without the internet, let's face it. And AI is just the same. You actually, I think, agree with me. I just think that you've, unfortunately, just in, well, not necessarily even unfortunately, just in the space that you live in, you are on the internet a lot, and there's a lot of, the internet really likes to, like, it really likes to emphasize the negative things about particular like traits and like people and technology, including AI, right? Again, as someone that is pretty damn fucking on the internet all the time, but also has a real job and has to go into an office sometimes, I get to see both sides of things. And you're saying, oh, you just don't see the good sides of AI. Well, it's probably because you don't go into an office and have like you don't have like a job in a professional setting. It's not your fault, but like you're literally just looking at the big blow up side that the internet has given you, and this is what I think that all the anti AI people pretty much are doing. They are not people that are like seeing the whole picture, and I'm not saying that's your fault. I'm just saying that is the reason that you're anti AI, and you're not considering the entire picture. And I think that you pretty much have agreed with me already, like that it is a good overall, it's a good thing and it could be used for good. We just need the people that are using it for bad right now just to stop. And we already see that stopping. We've had this bit of an AI bubble where people have been excited about it, but it's already coming down. People are already starting to recognize the AI art. Sora, for example, the biggest AI video generation platforms, already shut down. People are over that. The real money and the real good uses of AI are in like Gemini and Claude. The the things that are like behind like helping people, as you said, the tools that people use to enhance their skills, enhance their knowledge, make them more efficient, not the things that are just using to generate stuff. That stuff's already dying out. Obviously it's never going to die out completely, but I think people are becoming wiser of it, and as we go in time, AI is just going to go forward and become a better thing, same as the internet, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just the fact that there's just a lot around it, you know. I know you said the internet likes to be negative a lot, but I have heard that news. I have heard the good news of Sora being like shut down and all that other crap. And I wouldn't agree that the internet is fully like negative when it comes to all that stuff because I actually I knew that there's a lot of things I know that are good that are happening. It's just that I'm kind of worried, despite the fact that we have all of these wiser people coming in and saying, "Ho ho, this is bad. Don't do this. We don't want this slop AI. We want the good ones." That doesn't mean that there's gonna be these weirdos rising up trying to make it a thing. I know that it's shutting down and all that, and like people are understanding, but there's still an opportunity, like you said. It doesn't really like it won't go away like a lot of things, it won't go away at all. And I also feel like the good parts of AI, they are useful, but they're not that like what's the word? I was gonna say not impactful, but they are impactful. But I think like they're expressive, right? The more expressive AI, like the ones that make things like entertainment, that is what's going to not like blow up as in like really big. It's already done that, but I feel like that's going to be more recognizable than what's good. That's another problem. is that people aren't really going to be as much as informed because I don't think people are looking up like good parts of the AI. It's just if there was more like advertisement of just better uses of AI than these funny little apps and all that, I think it would be good. It's just that the representation of the good parts out just don't really like they don't like show often. I don't. I know you said that I don't see it because it's all negative, but I don't believe that because like I said before, yeah, I've seen good things happen. I've seen bad things happen. It's just natural for me to just look up things here and there. If this is good, this is bad. I'm not fully negative. And also another thing about like jobs and stuff. That's the only part I feel like AI should be used for is for jobs. Everything else is just bad. Like if you're not using it for like for gain for the entire human race, then what's the exact like point of using it other than entertainment? And if that entertainment is not good, then why have it at all?
All right, so you agree that it's very helpful for jobs, yeah?
Yeah, I do. I just wish it
And
was
what?
represented more.
And you would agree that like, what's the unemployment rate right now, like in the US or whatever? It's like 4% or
Horrible.
something. I don't know. I don't know what it is,
It's
but
horrible.
it's under 10%. Let's put it like that. So the majority of people do have jobs, and AI is benefiting them in a professional sense. I feel like the internet is pretty much just this isolated space where it's the only space where people can like just rag on AI and not see that side. And again, I'm not blaming you for not seeing it. It's not your fault. When I was your age, I didn't have a freaking job in an office or anything like that. So yeah, I don't. I think you're. I think a lot of your argument comes down to just not seeing the other side of things, and I think you've admitted that. Um, but
Yeah, I
and I
have.
guess yeah, and so I just think that it's not necessarily an argument. I don't think we necessarily even disagree. I just think we disagree on probably the impact that AI is having. Like, right,
Exactly.
you're
Yes.
not seeing the real positive sides that I'm seeing, and I also think that I think the negative sides that you've rightly pointed out and that I agree with, are gonna die off a little bit faster than you think. I think I guess that it comes down to this. Do you genuinely think that the negative things that you've pointed out about AI outweigh the potential benefits that I've pointed out today?
In,
Especially considering that we already see those negative things dropping off.
in what sense?
Like the fact that it can enhance people's efficiency, it can enhance people's work, like help them with the research,
Inefficiency,
it can help
it's
them with
good.
all these things. And yes, the bad parts, people stealing art or whatever, these are already dropping off. Real people can or don't like AI art. Like this is there's some weirdos on the internet that like our role stands for AI art, but I think most people, even people that are fans of AI like me, don't really like AI art. Like we can a bit of AI can be funny sometimes, but like I wouldn't like someone to like actual like try and portray their own a piece of AI art as their own work. But we all agree that's bad. It's like the same. It's like the same thing as like saying, "Oh yeah, I agree people should be able to own a gun, but I don't want to someone that go in and shoot a bunch of people." Right? It's like, yeah, there's people can do bad things with good tools.
Do we want to
Yeah,
open up maybe questions from the chat here?
Yeah,
yeah,
I would say
Yeah?
it's probably
yeah.
time.
Okay, so chat, do you have any questions for either side, for Wizard or Stone? Feel free to put your questions in right now if you would like, if you have any questions for anyone here.
Yeah.
Yep. So Dig Dug, Cam, now's your chance. Jack,
Muppet Man,
Viper.
possibly. Most things have been covered. You think so, Muppet?
Most things have been covered. Okay, well, I mean, I know Dig Dug and Sonic had a few things that they wanted to say, so now's your time to really kind of say it. What
What
happens
happens?
when there's an AI that can use the existing AI tools that boost efficiency? Is that a question for Wizard? Wizard, you think that's a question for you? Or
Might be a question for both of us, I guess.
okay.
I guess I'll go first. I feel like it's more directed at me.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree that there is this subtle threat of like AI becoming sentient or whatever. AI constantly making itself better and better and better until it's better than us. I think that it is a real threat that you can't ignore, but I do think it's I feel like it's one of those things where it's like it's a bit okay. Wow, Dig Dug is just spamming.
Paragraph City.
It's one of those things that it's like, was that an AI generated response, Dig Dug? No, I feel like it's one of those things where it's like kind of the same way that nukes are kind of like an inherent threat to the world. Yet they're a thing that's here now. AI is kind of the same. It's here now, and we can't really take it back. But there are benefits to it. Probably more benefits than there are with having nukes. So we shouldn't worry about these like if AI goes rogue and kills us all, it's gonna happen, man. There's nothing we can do about it. There's no point in worrying or focusing on that, right?
Viper, can you clarify what you were asking?
I still think it's like a rare. It's probably not going to happen because I think technology is only going to advance in the meantime. We'll find a way of restricting that, but hey, there's no point in worrying about it. If it happens, it happens.
Okay, so chat is very chatty about this. Let's try to get through this Dig Dug here. He says, I think the best way to explain how I feel about AI is by using the metaphor of the Trojan horse. AI is beautiful, it appears amazing, and it genuinely gives people a sense of, wow, things really will be better. Hope even. Yet, come to find out, the problem that existed centuries ago and still probably plagued by our world today, AI is not going to solve racism or homophobia or any social issue. It could only do non-human based things. Yes, it'll help you learn how to grow a garden or do any practical tasks, but it'll never teach humans how to be better than humans. I think it should be used with respect, like a knife. People are putting it on dangerously high pedestal, in my opinion. And just to be clear, I absolutely agree that AI should continue to be invested in. I know firsthand how useful they can be because hospitals are using AI right now to boost their efficiency. I just think like AI used to help humans should be the priority, and things like entertainment should be secondary, simply because the harsh environmental damage powering AI causes to our planet, which is already declining faster in a more recent history than any other time before. Wizard, I would like you to touch on this. This is something that Ali says a lot. Whenever I talk to him about making Suno songs, him and Potato, this is why I think it's a younger person thing, they say the planet is getting destroyed by AI. How is me or you or Jamie making a Suno song destroying the planet? I would like you to touch base on this.
I would like to start by saying I agree with pretty much everything that was said in that comment. That's pretty much my stance on AI too. But I do think the environmental impacts of AI are a little bit overblown, especially since we're already past the point of no return when it comes to environmental damage to our world. I think that, again, I don't think there is necessarily a particular, metric you can judge people's happiness by. And I think that, the happiness, some of those entertaining factors of AI, like Suno songs, as long as they're not misused, I do think it's I will agree that it is very easy to misuse those entertainment-like ways of using AI. I will not dispute that. I agree it's very easy to misuse them. But I don't think a few people making a few Suno songs is... When you consider the environmental damage that's already been done by all the industries up to this point, AI isn't adding that much on top of it, really. It's been a bit overblown how much it is if you actually look into it. We're already past the point of no return when it comes to environmental damage to our world, unless we actually invent some fucking crazy fucking terraforming technology. We're fucked anyway. Ironically, AI might be the thing that helps us do that. So, yeah, that's kind of my response. But overall, I agree with the sentiment.
I'm assuming that was just directed at you and not Stone. Sonic says,
I think Stone should have a chance to respond.
Stone, would you like to respond to anything that Dig Dug said?
I completely forgot what he said because I was just listening to Wizard.
I mean, it's.
But
I'm not reading it again. It's quite the paragraph,
oh,
but.
it is quite the paragraph. But basically, I think
Long story short is
he's-
AI is not going to solve human problems like racism and homophobia. Yes, it'll teach you
Yeah.
how to like grow a garden, but like it should be used for things that are going to solve our problems and not like create more problems.
Yeah.
I guess. And then
that's another thing.
they
right
also touched on the environmental damage of AI. So I don't know if you want. Oh my God, people are really getting crazy with this, guys. Guys, got to slow down a bit here.
Okay,
we're still
so
on Dig Dug.
about the and the environmental thing. I believe that's the case because money is being put into it, like a lot for most companies. Most companies are putting so much money, so much investment into AI, and it's really just hurting our economy right now. Like, not I'm not even going to talk political here, but just in general, the fact that we're investing so much in something that we don't even know if we can enhance as well as we think we can is just kind of scary, you know. And what if it like fails? That's the thing too. What if all this investing and all of these just this hope to make it like actually help us like do things, but not like obviously not social issues, but like things that like actually like boost us to like just for efficiency. What if that just absolutely fails in the way we want it to? That's one thing I just thought about. What if it just all fails? That's another thing. We are relying on it to just probably boost and help our future. And also the internet too, because the internet came out a long time ago and it's been like growing and growing, but I feel like the internet is going to be more strict in the future if things come into play. So as long as the people in charge of all of these softwares and companies and all this stuff do know what they're doing, then it's good. So overall, it's kind of hard to tell how it will be going.
I mean, I
in the
want to
future.
just add on to that statement is, I mean, you're a little young, so you probably don't remember, but like 10 years ago or so, they were already trying to make the internet a little bit more stricter with like net neutrality and whatnot. There were people that were literally trying to dip their hand in the honeypot and like restrict what we can and can't do on the internet, which is scary. It's a scary thing because, the internet should be a free thing.
It's been in effect too. Yeah, they're still trying, and it's been done to some degree now, because I don't know if this is kind of relevant, but this is just kind of a point that I found, and everyone's been talking about. They're making porn like unviewable unless you have to give your whole identification just to view it. And that's just because people are just kind of just scared of just their children, and that's just a
Well,
whole
I
other
don't know
topic
what that
of
has to do with
parenting.
AI. That doesn't really have to do with AI, but I mean,
That's just another topic.
yeah,
of,
like
regulating the
your
internet.
whole state has made porn illegal to access in Texas.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
which
what I
is
mean, yeah.
which is insane if you absolutely think about it.
That's an example of where things can go wrong, right? Just because it didn't work before, that doesn't mean it won't work again, right? So they can fail and they can come back up. That didn't happen back in like 2010 when I was alive. That they didn't ban it in Texas, but now they have. They have achieved it, and what is to say that they can't achieve more and make it more strict?
We have hundreds and
And-
hundreds and hundreds of comments to get through. Before that, though,
Yeah,
one that
let's
stood
get-
out
let's
here is
get- let's
get through it.
Muppet Man. Muppet Man said, "Objection! Porn has nothing to do with AI." It actually, it does, because I've heard a lot of people using it to be.
Ooh,
you
that's a
can
whole
you
other
can
topic.
grab
We should
any
get into
image
that.
of anybody you know, and you can feed it into an AI thing and just say, "Take this person's clothes off."
But
So you literally
I mean,
can
to
use
cut
it.
a long story short, I'm just gonna do the same argument I did before. Bad people can use good tools for bad things. Yeah, bad people can use a gun and go and shoot a lot
That's
of
true.
people in
Yeah.
school. Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that the tool is.
That's
still
why
not-
it's kind of, I feel indifferent towards these things like guns, the internet, and AI. I'm so indifferent because of the good and bad things. They're very like drastic differences of how you can use them. So if push comes to shove, bad things can happen with any of these.
It
A lot
is
of
going to
things that
be a
happen with
3-hour episode.
anyone.
Zach, you don't need a computer to do that. You can just ask Blueberry Chan to make me in a bikini. He'd willingly do it. We get a laugh track for that. All right, let's move on
We
here.
need to go through these comments.
Okay, so Sonic AI is going to just get better. How long before AI is so advanced that corporations no longer see the need for human employees? We already see AI replacing humans in jobs with self-checkout lines. You guys want to check out on?
That's the question for you, Wizard.
I would argue that's not really AI. Well, I guess it depends how you define AI. I mean, that's been happening for a long time before this, like, quote-unquote AI boom. Like, I know over here in New Zealand, they've had self-checkouts here for freaking, like, 10 years. I mean, I do agree that, like, it's unfortunate that some people are going to inevitably lose their jobs to AI. But I also think, you know, there were a bunch of people that lost their checkout jobs, but other jobs are created, right? It's like AI maintenance jobs, more IT jobs, and I'm sorry, it's like all technology that boosts again, I'm just gonna. I guess my argument is that the overall benefit. Like, I like having self-checkouts. I'll tell you right now, I like the self-checkouts, and maybe not everyone agrees with me on that, but it's very convenient for me to go through a self-checkout. I'd have to sit in a giant line waiting for people. I remember when I was in the UK back when I was a kid, me and my mum, we'd be sitting in fucking lines for hours waiting to get the fucking tills. Now they can have like 20 self-checkouts in like, you know, in like the same space they could have like 3 tills. You know what I mean? It's like really reduced the waiting time. The overall benefit of having those checkouts is better.
I mean, yeah, I kind of
Unfortunately,
agree.
it sucks for the few people
I
that lost the three,
have a
the three
point.
people that would have been on the tills, but yeah.
Jack says it's the same scanner and same bags. A human is still scanning. Yeah,
No,
I don't
not
know
true.
if this is really technology. I don't know if this is really
absolutely,
AI.
that's completely bullshit. This is complete. It's the concept is correct though, but no, that's a complete bullshit, Jack. You can fit like 10 self scanners in the same space as you can fit like 2 like lanes of tills.
Cars
Complete
took
bullshit.
jobs from
Like that.
people who sold horse and buggy. You know, if we're talking about completely driverless cars, I would get into that, dude. Like as someone that cannot drive, I don't have a driver's license and I cannot drive, and I would get a self-driving car just to help me get around. If like it means like
No, but Time Lord.
cars are not AI either.
Sorry, I just want to comment on Time Lord's comment because Muppet Man's saying it's not AI, but it doesn't have to be about AI to be relevant to the argument, right?
It has to do with replacing jobs, basically.
Yes, exactly. So exactly, this is the point, right? Cars took a bunch of jobs from people, but
the thing
we
is,
wouldn't want
with
to
the
live without
cars-
cars, would we?
The thing about
But
the
you
cars
can go
that
back
replace
to
people's horse
like
shop-
centuries and say X took away jobs from people. X took a job. It's always
Exactly.
been.
it did take away jobs from people, but those things still exist, right? You can still get a carriage ride. You can still ride a horse. You can still do all of that. It's just
I
smaller.
can still go to a checkout person in my supermarket if I want to wait for 20 minutes.
Okay, let's get back to these comments here. Viper was asking or clarifies here, says, I'm asking what happens when a company has access to an AI tool that uses existing AI tools and they can set it to fulfill an objective and it invalidates the people working those office jobs. Is that for you, Wiz? You want to touch on that maybe?
I feel like that's very similar to the last one. There is inevitably going to be, you know, at some point the AI is going to get good enough to replace people. Saying that, I don't see it coming anytime soon. As someone that works in an office job, AI has still got so many flaws, like that you can very clearly tell the difference between an AI. Again, I work in HR, which includes recruitment, and one of the things that we had a little bit of like a meeting slash, I guess, you know, like not really training, but like a meeting thing about was like AI job applications and how to spot them and stuff, right? It's very obvious if you know, and AI is a very long way above being able to like outperform humans in this sense. Also, the thing is, when you're working in like a job like HR, for example, where you're putting in very important data that affects how people get paid, you know, things like that, like you can't really make mistakes with that kind of thing, like writing people's contracts. You know what I mean? These are things where you don't just need like a you can say like, hey, I could get an AI that could make all the contracts and could pay people to an 80% efficiency. That's not good enough. Until AI gets to a 100% efficiency, because that's what you need to, because like you get one person's pay wrong, and all, you know what I mean. They're gonna be a big lawsuit. So it's like, yeah, it's like I think AI is still a long way off being 100% efficiency. Whereas with humans, you can get them to near 100% efficiency. For these tasks, these are advanced tasks that, like, writing a contract is quite an advanced task, right? You need to understand like so many different things about writing it, the stuff to put in, the stuff not to put in, and even one mistake can completely change the whole contract. So it's
Man, I
like
feel like I
these are
need
things
like the
that
chat right in the
AI is
middle of
not
the
even
office
like
here for people on
AI
YouTube
is
to
not
be
even
reading
close to
the
making
chat
these so far.
scrolling by.
But let's just say 10 years the AI has got that good. Maybe let's just say in 5 years it replaces my job. Hey, I would obviously be a
Okay.
bit bummed out about it, but I personally would like to have a different job by then. But look, it is what it is. Technology comes around and it replaces people's jobs in time. All technology has done this. It is something you got to adapt to. I would like to think that I would be able to adapt and move my skills to a different profession.
The one thing I hate about that is that there is less effort into the human race, and that makes us more obsolete. And we're just like things living. We're not like putting any effort or any like power into the world. It's just these machines doing it for us. So we're just kind of just sitting here letting things happen, you know?
Jack had questions or
Okay.
statements directed at both of you. He said, Wizard, when you say you use AI at work, are you using it more as gathering data and auto-summarizing data, where a computer can quote-unquote assist in taking a lot of data and making it more efficient? And Stonefree, you mentioned instructor/creator. How is that different than before AI, like Facebook/MySpace? Oh, who wants to go
So
first?
I'll start. I guess he addressed me first.
Go.
So yes, I guess. But multiple ways. There's also like, for example, another way. To cut. I mean, I don't want to go into the details. It'll take too long. But like, we have a onboarding software at our company, and we can actually use the AI now to create the onboarding. Like, man, how to describe this? Basically, our onboarding software like dictates like different emails get sent and texts and stuff get sent to different people to like help them on board, like send them information and they get their IT set up and stuff. Goes to some emails go to the person, some go to the manager, some go to us, some go to some other person somewhere else in the company, the accounting department. I don't know. You know what I mean? We have software that can do that, and in the past we have to painstakingly, you know, it would be like a fucking multiple day process of like very slowly like editing the software, typing in all the instructions, da 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 da. Now, literally, there's an AI tool that can just like within like probably 10 minutes just set the whole thing up for you, and you might need to maybe spend another hour on top of that, like fucking editing some of the AI. Again, AI is not perfect, right? We know it's got flaws, so we wouldn't just like let it do its thing and then just leave it. We obviously check the AI's work and we go in and we edit it, but man, it saves a hell of a lot of time. Yeah, stuff like that. It massively improves efficiency.
So Stonefree, it's his comment to you was you mentioned instructor creator. How is that different than before AI, like Facebook, MySpace? I'm not 100% sure what he's asking, but maybe you understand the question.
Okay. So let me clarify this for your question specifically. I don't know what you're trying to ask, but in this instance, and what you're asking about Facebook and MySpace compared to instructor and creator, um, instructor, it just tells you to do things. You're just telling it to do things. You're not like doing things yourself. There is no like you won't be in what you instruct. You will be pushing it. You will be pushing it to do this thing. And as for a creator, it makes things and then you put what you put down. The difference is that as an instructor, you're pushing the AI to do something, but as a creator, you're pushing yourself to do that thing. Does that make sense? Jack, I hope that makes sense.
Company Man says, as someone who's starting to work with AI data analysis, you either follow the tech or you fall behind. That's history with technology. That's kind of just a statement.
Yeah, that's true.
Time Lord says, servers have always existed. Anyone who uses social media also uses water. If someone wants to make the water argument, they need to unplug completely. Company Man also adds, I mean, factually, we have 20 to 30 years worth of fresh water currently for our population / growth. And AI, along with quantum computers, use a lot of water for cooling. Muppet Man says, AI shouldn't take the blame for destroying the planet. That is a wider issue with the internet as a whole. That's basically saying if you murder a single cow, is this a species?
Specific?
Species
I'm
goes
guessing you meant.
extinct.
The specific cow.
Viper says using AI to use water doesn't permanently remove the water anyway it comes back. If anyone else types an essay, it's getting deleted. Here's an essay, it didn't get deleted. Lesbian Pretzel says, while the concept of AI is not necessarily a problem, the societal and environmental impact is undeniably really negative. Environmentally and societally, AI data centers are actively destroying communities using tons of resources such as water, driving up the price of RAM for all consumers, and more societally, AI models are starting to create problems of misinformation and enabling people to do horrible things. How would we solve these issues without, quote unquote, the wrong people just stopping? Does anyone want to touch on that?
I think this is... Oh, I mean...
That's a wizard question.
Yeah, it's mainly aimed at me, and I think this is probably the strongest argument anyone has made so far against me, which is a nice one, Lesbian Pretzel. You're actually making all the good points here. I agree that these are major concerns. And these are probably the strongest arguments against AI that I can think of. I feel like I've already touched on the environmental thing. I feel like we're already past that point of no return, and are pretty much our only chance of solving the environment. Like, so many of technology, not just AI, is already fucking the environment, and it's already fucked the environment beyond help. We need some kind of, like, fucking miracle, which maybe AI can help us with, to fix the environmental issue. So that's kind of my stance on that. It's not really I'm not claiming it's not a solution. I'm just like, hey, it's just making a problem where we already have a little bit worse. But it's the problem is already past the point of no return anyway, right? It's like if you know you're gonna die, it's kind of like the people that like, hey, this is the metaphor for it, right? If you know you got cancer and it's gonna kill you in like 2 weeks or whatever, you go and do all the craziest shit. You go and take all the drugs and you go and do skydiving and all these crazy things to kill you because you know you're gonna die anyway. That's kind of how I feel about the environmental factor of fucking AI, right?
Wow.
It's like adding a little. It's maybe speeding up the thing that's already happening, right? At the worst.
That's bleak as hell.
What do you have to say about that, Stone?
Well, now hang on though. But the thing is this: the difference is by doing the skydiving, you have a chance of some miracle happening and actually solving a cancer. Like that's the thing, right? With AI, like it's not just all negatives. That's the difference.
That's
right?
what I was saying. I was just worried about where it's heading, right?
Because like my argument was weak when you're literally agreeing with it now.
No, I'm not agreeing that AI is good. It's just that I'm more worried for it going down the bad path. I think it's not going to.
You're agreeing though that there is.
I'm agreeing with your sentiment, but I'm not agreeing that it's good.
No, I
understand.
I didn't
what
say
you
you were
mean.
agreeing that it's good. I didn't say you were agreeing it's good.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So Jack adds here, and I'm assuming he's responding to you, Wizard. He says this is actually part of my job.
Hang on, Pretzel said 3 things. I've already responded to one of them.
I'm trying to. I know,
you need
but
to read all of these.
Oh my fucking god! Jack just responded to you what you just said last, so I just thought, well, instead of getting on a different topic,
let's get through Pretzel's whole thing because I can't scroll down in the chat. I'm trying to
directed at Wiz. Company Man says misinformation existed for the last 100 years. AI isn't.
No, I'm still trying to respond to the Pretzel comment.
We're done with the Pretzel. We're done with the Pretzel.
No, we're not. I only responded to one of us.
Yeah, but for fuck's sakes. I'm
I'll
done.
respond. I'm sorry.
We're done.
Chris, I
That's
want
the
to
end of the
respond to your
episode,
point that Andy's
guys.
Interrupting me.
Good night.
Oh, come on.
What the fuck, guys? I'm just there's the pretzel. There's like 5 more pretzels, but there's like fucking 40 messages in between. Come on, you cock fucks. Let me fucking catch up with the fucking chat here, man. Pretzel did like fucking 6 messages down below, but there's like 40 messages in between. You can't just jump ahead to pretzel.
Okay.
No, I was
Okay.
only even done with the first message, man.
We weren't done with
first-
what she said.
3 things in it. I only argued the first one.
Well, keep going then.
Okay, well now I fucking scrolled down.
I could reread it if you need.
Okay, I'm there again. Okay, so the second thing was about AI models creating problem with misinformation. I do agree that this is a problem. Yeah, I mean, again, you say, how can I argue against these without saying stopping wrong people doing bad things? Well, I think that's what we need to do. The same way that, like, when it comes to people, like, going on, like, fucking shooting sprees and people, like, you know, doing child sexual abuse material, sharing it on the internet, I think the solution to that isn't locking people all out of, you know, getting rid of all the guns in the world, getting rid of all internet and all people's access to the internet. It is stopping the bad people, right? So I can't say I don't have an argument against the wrong people doing the wrong thing. I think we actually just have to stop the people that are doing the wrong thing. So I guess that's a shorthand answer so that we can move on.
Okay, so we're done with pretzel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, happy now,
I tried to
MD?
give a short answer.
Misinformation has existed for hundreds of years. AI is making misinformation look more credible, says Pretzel. Company Man says the media, influencers, and social media make information look more credible. Okay, so basically the same thing as Pretzel. Exactly, Company Man.
No, that was the opposite.
You guys disagree with that?
With what?
No, Company Man was disagreeing.
Oh, he was disagreeing.
I don't think you understood.
With misinformation use of AI?
Maybe so. I didn't read the full.
What?
Make misinformation look more credible than AI does. At least AI can be trained to not use those type of sources. So, do you guys have a?
I agree. I guess I don't necessarily completely agree with Company Man there, but I feel like I'm a bit on the fence there with AI with Pretzel and Company Man. She is saying AI can be, you know, artificially used to make to make information seem artificially more credible, which is completely true. But Company Man pointed out quite rightly that for many years the media has been using, and you know, people with money and shit have been using you know, social media and, you know, just their power over the internet and media to artificially enhance and boost and make things seem more credible than they are anyway. So this is not really necessarily changing that issue. It might be the one thing I guess I disagree. Well, I don't think he was even disagreeing with this. I think AI might enhance this a little bit, but it's not really. It's still just the it's the same issue, just slightly enhanced.
The thing with that, though, is that images can be generated, right? And not everybody's going to be looking if it's AI or not.
That's what enhances it. I agree.
Yeah, it's very much enhanced because no one is able to make images or videos of anything. They were you just had to go by word of mouth or very like what's the word? Like I forgot the word, but like they're just taking like what people said and then paraphrasing. People are just like heavily paraphrasing what people are saying. That's the only thing they can do. But now it's visual. And that's even worse because when people see with their own eyes, it's even worse because there's evidence right there and they're not going out of the way to prove it wrong. So it's easier to do it that way than to just say, hey, this is what I think. You should do this. And instead of doing that, people can just show them this and like, how can you refute this, buddy? We have a video of this person doing this. Like it's hard
I agree with this, by the way. I agree with this. I actually think the AI video thing is actually probably one of the scariest AI things. And this is probably when I've been talking to people about AI, even the workplace and stuff. This is the main one of the biggest concerns I put out is is the fake video. So I can't argue with that one. That is a valid point. But again, overall, I don't think I think AI is still better overall. But I definitely think that's a very valid point.
No, this is live. This is being filmed in front of a studio audience, Loveless Girl.
This is not MBTV.
This is not MBTV.
Not MBTV.
I know it looks like MBTV. Impromptu argument session here. So we had a lot of talk about the deep fakes and the porn, and we'll just move over all that. Pretzel responds to company man by saying, I'm aware, but as AI videos get better and more realistic, it gets easier for people to fake evidence of people doing shit. Okay, we'll skip over that. Company man said, I've had enough of this. I'm going back to Peter's. Can we get a laugh track for that? Viper, I'd argue a self-checkout as an AI. Okay, we talked about the self-checkout. Time Lord. We talked about the cars. What happens if I can have an AI use other AI to do other office jobs? It invalidates Wizard's entire AI in the workspace is good argument. Cars also made jobs, so it didn't just delete them. Wiz, you want to touch on that?
I don't really understand what he means by it.
I mean, I think he's saying
AI to use other AI to do their office jobs. No, I don't think it invalidates my argument at all.
I think he means when AI uses
I don't think
itself.
I'm arguing against that. I think that might inevitably happen. You have an AI manager that creates AI people that work for it. That might happen. I just think it's a very long way off.
And that's the thing. How do we feel about AI even doing that? Is that a good thing for us, or is that a bad thing? Like, do we want efficiency, or do we want to be proud of what we do?
Well, you gotta think about this, right? It's easy to say, okay, 10 people lost their jobs because of this AI, right? But those 10 people, you would like to think, could actually... Well, this is the thing, right? I think in the short term, hopefully those 10 people will take their skills, take their take their human brains and use them on things that only humans can do. Because there is always going to be things that I think for the very much foreseeable future, there's always going to be things that humans can do that AI just simply can't do.
Viper passionately argues in capital letters that saying it's far away doesn't make it a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like he means it doesn't make it not a problem.
Just because losing jobs is not far.
No, I mean,
far
like,
away.
But again, I think that I was in the middle of explaining that, but hey, thank you for interrupting. Anyway, yeah, no, now I've lost my train of thought. What I was saying was that yes. Well, how do you define that as a problem? I guess is what I'm trying to say. Right, it is a problem in the short term for those people that lose their jobs. Sad to be them, right? Although those people would hopefully see what's coming with the the advance in technology and learn to reattribute their skills to somewhere else, to another thing. I think there's always going to be stuff that humans can do that AI simply can't do, just because it's either too advanced, requires a brain, requires some kind of thing that cannot just be pre-programmed. And I think that it's probably actually better efficiency-wise to have those humans doing those things rather than just manual fucking input basic tasks that you're replacing, you're getting the AI to do anyway, right? It sucks in the short term for those people. I'm not arguing with that. It sucks if you lose your job. But, I'm talking about the greater good of humanity here.
Okay, Zach says cars took jobs, but also made jobs, and AI can take those jobs. Sure, but people are getting jobs. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so when it comes to people losing jobs, it isn't the main jobs that I think that's going to be very, very bad if they lose are like entry level jobs, like waitress and retail and this and that. Like if that's automated, people would have to go to college and have to pay for that to learn skills. If there are no jobs that people can just simply do just to get the ball rolling and because they don't, how would they even like have experience in a job, because they're going to be going straight into college and then learning a skill, or possibly learning a skill elsewhere and doing that as their first job. That is not very, like, it doesn't boost confidence because they have not worked in their life before. So is these entry level jobs being replaced by AI is very bad because of that. Because if we can't have any of those jobs, then we can't have any younger people that have experience. It just goes away. They're just like forced to do the job with a lot of skill, and it's not very good for that.
Yes, Peepees, you missed
Okay,
a very
sorry.
special judge versus judge.
No, I really want to respond to Stone before I forget.
Go ahead.
So I think, okay, this is going to, unfortunately, this is going to go wide. And I think, again, I'm going to have to probably cut this short just because it's going to end up going into like a wider range of politics. But I agree with you that I don't think people should be forced to do these entry-level jobs. And I think it would be an incredible ideal society if we did have AI doing all the entry-level jobs and people could, for free, go and get educated and do the more advanced stuff. The problem right now isn't with the AI replacing the jobs, it's with society and the fact that we don't allow people to, for free, study to that higher level of education, right? People shouldn't need to do these entry-level jobs. If we used our resources efficiently as a human race, we would just get the robots to do it, and we would spend our time more efficiently studying, educating ourselves, and people wouldn't have to pay the price for that. The problem right now isn't that the AI is taking these jobs, it's that people would have to pay to get that education. I think that most people would rather be in college, learning, advancing their skills, meeting people, doing nice, good things for free, rather than fucking going and washing dishes or some shit at McDonald's. So
Yeah,
this is
I'd agree.
I don't think this is necessarily an AI thing. I agree with you. I don't agree with you because you're saying, oh, people need to do these entry level jobs. I disagree with that. I don't think
It's
they
not that
do.
they need to. It's just that the fact
Right
that it
now in
would be
society they have
easier.
to because of the way that fucking society is set up, but it shouldn't be that way.
I mean, in the sense that they know what a job is like, right? So they don't like have less confidence in going into the job they want. Like I understand the sentiment for wanting like more like less college funds so they can just
Yeah,
do
but if we
whatever they want right off
eliminated
the
all that
bat.
lower level job, then the next level up would be the lowest level job.
But
It would just
my
yeah.
point here is that the jobs that people hate, like entry level jobs, like waitress and all that crap, like are like no one likes it that much. I feel like we need that sort of discipline
I
in
don't
the
agree at
society,
all.
because if we don't have experience in these sort of like jobs, how can we know that we're gonna do good in these other jobs? I know some not right like might relate at all to like cashier versus like doctor, but some skills revolve around that, like social skills. If you don't have social skills talking to strangers about certain things, I don't know how you would do more like social jobs, right? If you're
No,
doing something like inside on a computer, then that makes sense. But
I
like,
agree. I
how are you
agree.
supposed to
No,
get experience?
we do not disagree on this. We agree. But I actually think that there should be more resources and effort for our society put into like helping people that are like socially isolated and like having issues with those skills. They
But
shouldn't have to go and get a shit fucking job at McDonald's where they get paid $2 a fucking
exactly.
hour or whatever to learn those skills. They should just get those skills taught to them for free by society.
But the thing is with that, do you expect society to completely agree on it? All the people controlling everything?
Unfortunately, not. But I think they should.
Yeah, that's the sad reality of it, is that it's more likely that we're going to replace jobs than get a world where we get free college and no entry level jobs. Because I feel like that reality is more expected than the free college and the more resources for experience,
I don't know,
sadly.
man. I've seen the world come up and down, and I'm hopeful. I think, especially with the AI, and I think that's the thing. AI is going to give us an excuse to move more in this direction because they can no longer use these, with all due respect, these silly excuses that you've been using for making people do these stupid entry level jobs for like $2 an hour, right? That AI will eliminate that excuse, and hopefully that will actually make our point more valid and powerful.
Yeah, all we can do is hope on that, but
Yeah,
moving
I mean,
forward,
that's all we can do on many things, man. It's just
yeah.
life.
We should
But
probably be wrapping this up
generally,
soon. I think we're going on an hour here. Let's just try to get through most of these comments here that people made, just so they don't feel neglected.
Yeah.
Talmud responding to Ali saying, "I think that's more of an opinion. Wizard has mentioned how it's improved his ability at work." Lesbian Pretzel says, "What about the rampant inshitification of everything in the wake of AI? Obviously, things were getting." Inshitified, is that a word? I've never heard that word before. Did you just make that up,
I
Pretzel?
don't think that's a real word.
Let's just say things were going to hell before AI was prevalent, but it really feels like things have decayed rapidly since the AI boom. I don't know if that's really necessarily towards AI, which is also
I
compounded
mean,
by
I would
companies
agree.
pushing.
AI has definitely enhanced it, but I think it was, you know what? It's the cancer example, right? You're going to die in 2 weeks. You're just speeding up the process a little bit. It's not really changing the end result.
Saying it's not too soon does not remove the problem. You and Stone are very good at saying things that I want to say. This has been the most heated episode of Dutch Judge we've ever had. And it's mainly the chat versus Wizard at this point. Stonefree's just kind of like, la 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 la. I feel like Stone's kind of been convinced by Wizard. I mean, I hate to say it.
Convinced at all.
You won't admit it anyway.
I feel like there's more bad than good. Good just needs to rise up. That's all I'm saying. I do not hate AI. I am just disappointed. That's all. I just wish the good came out more. That's all I'm saying. That's why I think it's bad. Is that there's not enough good.
No, we don't have commercials, Muppet Man. Viper, then inform us how AI creates jobs. AI is created by grabbing existing data, so you don't need to create new data. Once it's programmed, the same job go to making.
You know, AI is made by programming, my friend. Come on.
Jack says, and this is what I wanted to respond or let you know, like fucking in 40 minutes ago, because you probably forgot the conversation. But Jack says, this is actually part of my job. I am the guy that is programming those keyword triggers for the emails, Wizard, and is not auto magically. So what that was response to whatever he asked you way the fuck back when I trying to scroll up to see if his message is still there. When he said
Jack, I have to say AI does it a lot faster than you.
Bum, 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 bum.
Plus, it's probably not exactly what I was talking about. Again, I didn't really give a very good description because, again, I can't really go into the in-depth, like, fucking description of the software I use. It'd be all day.
Okay, we're caught up, I think. Pretzel has a highlighted message. My point there was it's easier for potential bad actors to create a fake video. Evidence of people with realistic videos as deepfakes. Something that wasn't exactly possible before.
That's how I'm making that point.
And then PP's joined, and okay, I think we're caught up here. We're gonna put the cap on that. So
debate, Stone.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna let both of you give closing statements here, and then we're gonna open up the chat to who argued better. So
I don't need a closing statement.
You don't need a closing statement?
We had a really good debate. I made all the points I want to make. If Stone wants to make a closing statement, fine. But this is my closing statement. I've made all the points I want to make. I think that I have actually probably changed a few people's minds here, even if you don't want to admit it right now. But I would, even if you're still on the fence, just have a think about the arguments I've made. I guess I'm making a fucking closing statement at this point. I'm not arguing that AI is perfect. Absolutely, I recognize there are big problems with AI. But I do think overall, it is a force for good, and I think it will, in the long term, be used for a force for good. That is pretty much what my argument is. I think I've made all my points. I don't need to elaborate further. Thank you. And Stone, thank you for the great debate. You've actually put up a really good job here.
Stone, is there anything you'd like to conclude on?
I would just like to say that I just want to clarify. I have been more convinced yet less convinced. I don't know how else to put that, because I've been kind of whelmed, you know. I'm still on the fence, but I'm still in the headspace that I don't really see a good future, just because that there's just more bad rising up, and I hope in the future that it all changes. And I hope all the points that Wizard made like come true and actually come to fruition, and not just have this dystopia of just bad AI. I really want AI to be good. I'm not trying to be a hater or someone who's just following a trend. I am just genuinely like worried where this could head. And I just wish the best for all the people working in the AI space to make it good. And I hope all the resources we spend on it will also be good. So let's just hope for a better future, and we just go on from there. And one more thing I would like to say is that this also did not convince me that I will be doing Suno. I'm not doing Suno. I'll never do it.
I
So
wish
sorry, MB.
I wish you touched base a little bit more on the your whole hatred for the Suno thing. That's kind of what I
Oh
really
yeah,
wanted.
okay.
I really
You want
wanted
me to
to
talk about
get.
that real
That's the
quick?
whole point of why I wanted this argument done.
You wanted me
But
to talk about that?
I don't
Okay,
really
I'll
want
talk
this to
about
Oh,
really
I don't
go
know. I feel like
another.
we should end it right now. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
No,
it's
Because
okay.
I'll
I'm just
have to
gonna
respond.
explain. No responses. I'm just going to
Well, no,
explain
hang on. You can't just
my
explain with no
this is
response.
a personal feeling. This is nothing that should be debated against. MB just very curious. Um, Basically, I just do not like Suno because as a music creator myself, I make my own music. I don't want to be influenced by something that isn't inherently made by a singular human. I want to find just be inspired by artists that I know that are real, and I'd rather not make or participate in that. Just to be more original to myself. And I just don't want to, just have that sort of just like unoriginality because it's
That's
AI and all
fair.
that. But
That's
we've already
fair.
explained that.
I mean,
Yeah.
to counter argue that, like, I know he's not here anymore, and I wish he was, but Wizzy makes all his own music, and he puts it through Suno, and he just like uses it to like improve things. Like he actually writes his own music, if anyone's ever wondered here, and he will feed it through Suno because they have like programs that help
I've
you
been
like
wanting to
tweak
ask him
things
about that.
and whatnot.
I've been wanting to ask him.
So I don't know
Yeah, like,
what
so did
exactly.
you realize that? Like, okay, I admit I've been using AI to write a lot of my music recently, but back in the day when Suno kind of sucked, I wrote most of the lyrics myself, right? You do realize most of us write the lyrics
The
ourselves.
lyrics, I'm not on the fence. I'm just mainly about the instrumentals. I'm an instrumentalist. I don't really make lyrics. I'm talking about like the music itself,
See, that's the opposite
the
for me. I don't
words
really
to it.
like instrumental music. I like music with like lyrics because the whole point of why I personally do Suno is just to get a laugh from the community, like, and he read the
Yeah,
lyrics and like have a
I
have a good
I can
time.
respect the fact that you want to do it for entertainment, but just me personally, I want to save myself from like taking something that has been washed through AI, because I am a creator myself, and I don't want to say, oh, I've used AI or I've taken inspiration from AI, because that's not really a good look from the majority. So yeah, that's
Okay,
why.
yes, I would love to do a make it meme, Mr. Muppet
Yes, a
Man.
make it meme would be great. It would be
Okay, we got
great.
Muppet,
Yeah,
we got
shake
Wizard
hands, Sam.
versus
That was great.
Stone. 2 minute on the
Good
poll
debate.
up at the top. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to argue or whether you like AI or not, please base your vote on who you think argued better their points.
We all know that
You
no one's
want
gonna
a
do that. They're just gonna
commercial?
vote whether they like
You want
AI or not.
you want a commercial, Muppet Man? All right, here's your commercial. Hey kids, I hope you're enjoying this heated episode of Judge Judge. Are we back? Are we back on air? They tried to pull the plug on me. The executive producers tried to pull the plug on me when we cut to a commercial break. They, Are we back on the air? We're back on the air? Okay. the show! All right. So, Wizard wins 6-7! 6-7! We got a special...
Oh, no, not 6-7.
We got a special 6-7 appearance on Judge Season 2.5! No,
yes, 7-6, not 6-7.
okay, well, Wizard wins.
Is my punishment to make a Suno song?
Yes, your punishment is to make a Suno song.
I will make a Suno song. Do you want any criteria, or can it just be anything about man
A
burning?
Suno song about me winning. Oh,
Oh man.
A Suno song about
I don't
why
think I could
AI
do
is so good.
No, I'm gonna make it about something funny.
Yeah,
My
fair
ego
enough,
is
fair enough.
already hurt by that idea.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this impromptu episode of Judge, which was totally not planned whatsoever. We kind of took over the Muppet Man stream takeover from this. Kind of a last-minute thing here. But we're going to do our closing statements. No, we're not going to do our closing statements. We're going to do the closing song. And I'll see you guys for Make It Meme.
Peace out, people.
With that said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you on the next episode.
People are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is Judge.
Get this rock band out of here! Get this fucking rock band out of my courtroom! I told you guys to get out of my courtroom and get into Grandma's basement. Get the fuck out of my courtroom!